Well, this is John and Steve from Midlands Metalheads Radio on day 3 of HRH Prog 7 in Pwllheli, North Wales for the very last time. And we're speaking today with the whole of Gandalf Swiss. Are you doing all right?
Yes,
I'll tell you, you guys are building up such a reputation.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something so different, you know? Do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves and what you're trying to achieve?
What are we trying to achieve?
Trying to figure that one out.
Trying to fit on the couch.
We're trying to achieve 3 beer, and we're failing at every hurdle.
I was trying to explain to our reviewer this morning, because he's obviously going to check you out, write some very nice words, and I said the easiest way I can explain it is steampunk pantomime.
Yeah. The word pantomime has been added around the world.
I'm sold.
Yeah, so like our most recent album is concept album. We always do concept albums. But we did a 3-disc sort of thing, Clockwork Fable, yeah. And what we really were trying to achieve with that was, rather than just have the songs carry the concept, we wanted the songs to carry the songs, you know. So we did all the narrative sort of stuff, so we did a full sort of radio play script, and we got professional actors to do it. So that way there was no sacrificing songwriting for having to try and tell a story.
It was amazing.
That's bold, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is there any chance of it being made into a movie?
I don't know about a movie. I mean, I'm not sure how you would get into that kind of thing. I think it is. I mean, it's ready to go for doing a stage performance.
Like
We'd love to do. We'd love to do it as a musical.
Mark Benton has mentioned he would love to do it as a musical. That he would love to get involved, and it's there to be converted.
It'd be like a very extended Gandalf music video.
Yeah.
I'd have to do it over 2 or 3 nights though.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
But what we do in our set is we try and capture the essence. So when we do those songs, if there is any narrative parts that's in the songs, as like the intros and stuff, we do sort of have those pre-recorded as well, so we can sort of help sort of set the listener into context of what's happening.
Because obviously, because it's a story, you know, from beginning to end. I mean, I was saying to somebody yesterday, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Tony Banks always said that it was difficult to take a song out of context.
Yeah. Because
you've got to hear it from the beginning to end. Do you find that's the situation with, you know, the last album in particular?
I think that's one of the reasons why it matters to write the songs, so they really do stand as their own, and they're not just some little part where a singer is telling you why they need to go into a cabin and find a mystic, whatever the image thought of.
Yeah, mystic weasel. But yeah, we've had people tell us that they like that they love the album and they like the narrative parts, but if they're just like going to the gym and listening to us or whatever, don't really want to be jogging. So like, 5-minute exposition, you know, it's like I'm really getting into the story, you know. So they do a sort of playlist of just the songs, because it's pretty much every other song is a song. Every other track is a song. So that seems to work for them. So yeah, maybe it isn't as much as an issue with where the songs really sort of have to tell the story.
Have you actually done it live, the whole thing from start to finish?
No.
Wow. I mean, that in itself, even though you know, there is quite a lot of talking on it, it's still over 3 CDs, so it would still pretty much eat up a set, wouldn't it? You know? So we've got.
It was about 3 hours.
Yeah. It's
3 hours 14 to be precise.
Yeah. So one of Chris's mates, after we released it, was listening to it, and he said to Chris, "Oh, is it 3 hours and 14 minutes because 3.14 is pi, and that's like a wheel turning." And
yes,
and we were like, "Yep."
Absolutely, it was intentional. Precisely.
Of course, what a stupid question.
How many decimal places? Wow. Unfortunately, you know, I think proggies do tend to be a bit detail orientated and things like that. Do you find that they've tried to look for hidden meanings in what you've done? And
I don't know. I mean, we actually do put hidden stuff in there as well.
I
don't think anybody's found it. So yeah.
We've hidden more meaning than people have found.
I mean, part of the creating of the album was that me and Dean basically sat and we created the world. You know, that was we world built as much as we wrote the music and did the script. You know, it was right, well, this is this, and these are the people that are affiliated to that, and then this is the part of the city where they live, and right, well, let's draw a map of the city. So that's what the city looks like. And then, this is the person. Well, let's have a blurb about what they are.
Wow.
And when we released the album, we sent like a press pack out to all of like the people that we were reviewing. And it was basically like a Lonely Planet guide to Cogtopolis.
Oh, wow.
So basically we sent that out as, this is everything else that we've done. And that's as much fun for us as, so it's not just that we're writing songs and doing this. There's so much stuff else that's going on in the background.
So what we actually did was, in order to blend the songs and the sort of narrative thing together, is that we decided that different characters would have like musical motifs, and they obviously pop up in the songs. If the song's about a certain character, it's based around the sort of motif. But then when there's the speaking and narration and stuff, those motifs sort of play out as like the orchestral score and stuff that we had to create.
Always,
as well.
and that comes straight out of films that we love. You watch a film and a certain character turns up on screen and that character has their theme played.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we were going with some of that, and it's we called it a mind movie, didn't we?
Yeah, so rather than call it a musical, which we sort of didn't want to be sort of pigeonholed into doing a musical, we call it a prog rock mind movie.
Because we're pretentious. We
Yeah.
things.
But the clear differentiation I was making with that is that usually in musicals you'll get somebody who's sort of speaking and doing the acting, and then all of a sudden we'll burst into song.
Yeah.
And we didn't want any of that, so we wanted the actors to do the acting and singers to do the singing, and so we had two people playing each part, one singer and one actor. So
It might have appealed to Walt Disney.
yeah.
You could have had Disney interested. He could have done that.
Yeah.
Singing princesses and stuff.
Yeah.
It must have been a hell of a production to get that together. How long did it take you to bring it together?
So what the idea for it actually came up on the morning of my wedding. So Luke was my best man, and we were essentially staying in like a chalet like this, and we were having like a moderate selection of breakfast whiskies.
Without the Skittles.
Very moderate.
Well, no, hearty breakfast, and we were just sort of going over the like speeches and stuff, and then we sort of get talking about like
we thrown some ideas around before, but the real concept of the album literally came up on that morning, didn't we? And we started kind of putting bits together. So that was where we started. And then
like, there needs to be a Clockwork Boy. There needs to be, there's all this stuff.
And then you
So
went away.
is your wife aware that this is what you were doing on the morning?
We almost didn't make the wedding because we were too busy sketching out ideas for Zeppelin-based narratives.
Yeah.
And then when you got there and you said you were late and you told her why, she went, really?
And then you went away and started putting some like musical ideas down, weren't you? And then we did a collaborate script, so we just like an online thing. So Dean wrote a bit, I wrote a bit, he wrote a bit, and then him and Chris got together and they sat down and they just wrote all this. You just basically put all the humour in, didn't you? You just
Over
got
a few
drunk one night and got a load of
beverages.
crazy.
That was
But
great.
that was probably
it was a year pretty much.
yeah, it's pretty much.
Because I got
Just
married.
to get the actual thing to in basic form.
No, so from coming up with the idea, I got married in. Oh God!
Please remember.
I'm so sorry. Do not watch.
We'll edit that bit out if you want.
We don't just want the year, we want the day.
The hour.
So I got married on the 18th of April, and
What year?
20. Oh my God! It was only. It was 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Oh my God! I'm so glad that she doesn't listen to this kind of music.
What's her name?
Sorry, and and then the 1st of May, the album came out the next year. So
yeah.
from coming up, writing the script, coming up with the concept, recording all the songs that cover a 3-disc sort of thing, recording it all because we recorded it all ourselves in my house, mixed it, mastered it all ourselves. We did the packaging and marketing and production. We did all of that. Well, not the production, but we did it. We don't have a label. We paid for it. All of that in 1 year, and it was sat in people's sort of house.
That's incredible.
So that was amazing, and especially like that time we were gearing up for my firstborn as well. So we're like, the album has to come out before that my son's born, because otherwise it will just never get released.
You were posting
Get your
pre-orders.
priorities right.
You were posting pre-orders from the album pretty much the day before your wife went into labour, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just like, just hold on.
That's incredible.
So yeah, it was
It's, I mean, being in a band is teamwork anyway, but I mean, to get everything else, it sounds like the humour, the script, it sounds like it's a team effort, and I guess putting the PR together and everything like that.
Yeah, but
all hands on deck, I guess, to get that done in a year.
But we enjoy it because we sort of, it's hard work, but because we put all the hard work in, when we end up like sat here doing stuff like this and get invited to play this festival or get great reviews for the album, then it's all the more sweet for us because we know that we've done absolutely everything on that album. It's like nobody's taken any credit apart from us. You know, it just feels really good when it comes out. It is massively stressful, but when it comes out, it's all about.
Do you think that's now set a precedent for the next album? Are we going to have a part
what's
two?
next?
We're going to have a sequel.
Well, I think the sequel sort of. I had some ideas about what you could possibly do with the story continuing, but I'm not sure we do a sequel. We might revisit that world in some other form. But the new album, we've been working on it in secret, really. We haven't really got much to say about what its story will be, because we were gonna try and get it out, just surprise everyone and get it out by Christmas, but other things sort of happened, and we're definitely going to release it early next year. So what we thought we would do is at this festival we're going to play 2 songs from it. So we won't be saying what the story is, but maybe people can sort of piece together the breadcrumbs and figure out where we're going to go with that. So we're going to open the set with one. So
Oh wow!
bold move. You know? Have we come to see the right band? I don't recognise any of this.
So we've got another 3 or 4 hours to write it?
Well, this Winter Machine, we asked them about their new album. When Al was saying, he said it's 96% done.
Right.
And then about 5 minutes later, he said it's 98% done. I said, give it another 10 minutes. It's really
Yeah, I mean, in sort of looking at percentages for our new album, it is pretty much there.
65, 70.
The thing is, it's gone backwards a few times.
Yeah, we have.
The problem is when we sort of end up pushing back, like, oh, we won't do it next year, but this year we'll push it back a few months. And then in that space, we end up adding like new songs to it, and it just ends up growing and growing. And this is what happened with Clockwork Fable. We didn't set out to sort of do a triple album, or it really didn't. It was just when we sort of, we wanted to get all that stuff in there, and then we were like, oh, it's probably going to have to fit on 2 CDs, or the dreaded double album. And then we were like, oh my god, we're going to have to do a triple thing. And it just happened like that. That's how long it needed to be. I can say that the next one is going to be a double album. There's no way it's going to fit on 1 CD. And I'm just praying it doesn't grow. Basically what happened was as well, on Dropbox, I put like a folder where like finished mixes would go. And I called it, like WAV files or WAV files, how you pronounce it. And I just put WAV mix downs. And Ben misread that and thought that it was the title of a new song. And so I was just like, well, what did you think it was called? And he said, oh, I thought you said blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, all right, give me 5 minutes. And then that's going to be a new song on the album.
Wait, mix down.
You need to be really careful making jokes in this band because they turn into albums. Triple albums.
Yeah, because the new album was originally going to be like, it was going to be our Christmas single. I'm not even joking. And now it's a double album.
It started as a Christmas single, then it became an EP.
Yeah. Because we had these songs, and we were like, well, should we come up with a narrative to try tie it together? And we came up with all right, we could link together by this sort of thing. And then by the time we finished doing that, we were like, oh dear. So yeah.
So the way it's going, in about 5 years' time, you'll be bringing out like a 7-disc album.
Well, funny you mentioned that. this album wasn't supposed to be our next project. We've had a project on the go since Clockwork Fable came out that is similar to what we did with Clockwork Fable, but not based in that world at all, completely separate, where me and Dean have done world building. Dean's created languages.
So, well, basically, like, we approached it in the same way. This isn't going to be our next album. It's a sort of ongoing project, and I wrote the script in the same way we did Clockwork Fable, and just doing the sort of, it's a bigger, vaster sort of thing that's going on. And we ended up having people, language experts, creating, like they do with Klingon or like Elvish or whatever. So we have all this sort of stuff. And my idea was that you would have complete songs in this sort of language in there, and people would have to get out their sort of translate them. Because with the Clockwork Fable, we created our own alphabet and font and everything, and that's used as sort of like a nice little extra thing in the world and that sort of thing. But I had every intention of having all the track list and all the booklet and all the lyrics completely written in this thing with a little, cipher. So if you wanted to read the lyrics and the track list on the album, you had to sit down and put in the hard work. But I was vetoed on that one.
Too pretentious.
So this other project that we've got going, we're looking at about a 2022 release on that at the moment, because we're just every time we think we're doing something, we've done a re-release of one of our old albums this year.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Now we've got this double album potentially coming out next year.
That wasn't supposed to
be happening. So it's just we're just winging it at the moment. Just seeing what these guys come up with and just
So you have to learn to sing in another language.
Well, it doesn't matter because it doesn't exist. So.
Well, it strikes me that you're a band that's very much enabled by the time that we live in. I mean, if you can imagine, if you guys had come together in the 70s and you hadn't to book studio time, how long would it have taken to achieve that?
We can also barely hear Stefan's drumming from Germany. Sometimes a little bit, but
it just shows the world's your oyster. It's only limited by your imagination.
So I have a studio in my house. Ben has one in his house. Stefan has one in his house.
Chris has got a bar.
Yeah, Chris has got a bar.
That'll do.
Yeah. And yeah, we can sort of. It's great as well because when we set something off, as long as somebody's working, it's a great feeling to know that if you're like, sat watching the football, the sort of wheel is still sort of trundling on, and something is happening and stuff like that. It's quite cool.
And it's nice when it's a collaborative event, that you're all involved.
Because it didn't used to be that way at all, because when we first started, the band was me and Luke, and it was collaborative, but Luke can barely play the triangle we've given for the start. And
have you been practicing?
Come on, I want to demonstrate. Come on.
Right. Ding. Triangle solo, take one.
Oh,
it's getting better.
So, expert. Yeah, but so like writing all the music was 100% sort of down to me, and now over the years, now it's become a real band. It's great because there's proper collaboration going on. It's like I come up with an idea, Ben will put his spin on it, and Stefan will put his spin on it, and Kerry will come up with ideas, and Chris will, and it's great. It's really great. We've come a long way in quite a short time. It's really quite exciting.
And most of that, like you were saying about the new technology, we wouldn't exist if that new technology wasn't there. Yeah. We basically self-promoted from, we've come all this way in like 7 years from nothing. There was nothing. There was Gandalf's Fist was any idea in Dean's head, and that's where we've come from in 7 years. And it's all just use of, MySpace in the very early days, and built from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it strikes me when you're describing, the worlds that you created and stuff like that. I'm imagining that you're avid readers as well. Are you big fans of like the fantasy and science fiction genre?
Yeah, I mean we all love. Well, Kevin's like looking at me like.
Don't drag me into it.
Yeah, don't drag me into your.
Oh,
crazy.
God,
It's just like, here's another song about goblins. We are, yeah. Well, me and Luke definitely are, and all that. I used to be a really big reader. And then I sort of fell out of love with reading once I sort of did an English degree, because I ended up like dissecting every novel that I ever read. But yeah, we love science fiction and stuff like that. And it's sort of, that has been our sort of, telling stories is basically what we do.
I mean, we did a whole album based on our favourite science fiction short stories and novels and stuff. That's Universal Wanderer. That's all it's based on, and then, Road to Darkness was a riff on Wizard of Oz, and everything that we do has been based on a concept of something that we like, and so the last two have been the last two have been Forest of Fey and Clockwork Fable have been just us. This is our concepts. This is our kind of thing. We're not ripping off anybody. Although, what did someone say? City of Embers or something? Someone said, "Oh, it's City of Embers." I'm like, "Dean, have you heard of City of Embers?" No, never heard of it. Apparently, Clockwork Fable's very similar. So the city events which we'd never even seen. So.
You're a collision of multiple art forms, really. It's not just the music; it's the literature. It's the whole concept. So I guess the physical art, the artwork. I mean, do you take care of that yourselves? Do you get the artist among you? Or?
Well, we come up with ideas for it. Back in the day, we sort of would put stuff together. So, like for our winter single last year, I won't call it a Christmas single because it's not really very Christmassy at all. I put together all that using Photoshop, and so we do sometimes do that, but we have got professional artist friends that sort of help us out. So Forrester Fair and Clockwork Fable is a contact of Stefan, is he a tattoo artist or something? He's a German tattoo artist, and he created all that. And then I've got a friend, Daniel Pierce, who did our most recent reissue, and he's brilliant. Watercolours and stuff, so we do like to get heavily involved in it, but we love handing that over to people to take their own interpretation and so on.
It must be quite, the fact that it was very much in your head, you two guys head, and now you're here as a six-piece. That's an incredible achievement in 7 years. And the fact that you said you couldn't have done it without the internet. In some respects, the internet's like a double-edged sword, because you've got this ability to create something that you guys have done, but you've also got the downsides, with things like streaming and downloading albums and stuff.
You have to sort of weigh it up, really. Streaming, it doesn't really make any money for anybody, really, apart from the people who own the streaming sites. But you have to sort of think, well, you're either not on it, and people are going to try and listen to it. If they want to listen to it for free on Spotify or whatever, then they are going to listen to it for free wherever. So you might as well have some sort of control over it, I think. It's a decent enough exposure, I suppose.
One thing about being in this sort of band in Prog is the fans tend to be a lot more enthusiastic and they want to buy stuff.
The product.
So I'd hate to be, for lots of reasons, I'd hate to be trying to write proper pop singles, but they're, if you can hear it, you can throw it away, it's done. Whereas here, good chunk of people are going to buy it because they want to keep it, they want to be involved, they want to support us, and that's.
Well, when you stream it or you download it, I think somebody put the other day, you're actually buying air. Because you've got nothing. You've got no tangible product.
And we, like you were saying about the artwork, we like to make the packaging as good as we possibly can. So the Clockwork Fable, I think the packaging is brilliant, with all the booklets and panels and stuff.
Desirable.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're the kind of, like, we all like this kind of music as well. So we, like everybody else, and we like collect records, we like having a record collection. And me personally, I like boasting about obscure stuff that I've got. And what's more obscure than a triple album by a band called Gandalf's Fist? So we're not too bothered about the streaming sort of stuff. We know people who want it will want to collect it and want the physical thing. But and obviously the plus side of the internet, being able to collaborate and promote and things like that. But funny enough, as like growing as like to a six-piece, we already sort of were a little bit, but in an imaginary form, because when we first started, me and Luke just invented band members that didn't exist, because we thought people wouldn't take us seriously if it was just me and Luke messing around in my bedroom recording songs. So we invented fake people that weren't there, and people believed it and that. And the problem is,
and here you are.
You
manifested into reality.
In the depths of the internet, somewhere that we found a site a couple of years ago, and it's still got. These are the members of Gandalf's Fist.
We went around and took pictures of my flat.
Did you give them normal names?
No,
like quite fantastical.
Ridiculous names. In fact, we didn't even give ourselves our own names. And we went around and we got my flatmates and stuff and took pictures of them. And said, like, stand by
that guitar.
Stand by that wall.
And
hold this falcon.
Badly photoshopped people's faces onto pictures of bagpipers and stuff like this. Awful.
Yeah. Well, nobody ever called us out on it.
I bet when the band actually goes, he looks nothing like the album.
Well, even when we because we didn't really have any presence, when we were kind of first getting involved with Prog magazine, they put a quote from Dean and put a picture of my face on and stuff and things like that, because they didn't know, because nobody had met us, nobody knew who we were, and it was that thing of until we actually did like an interview, and it was like, this is Dean, this is Lou. So there was a couple of interviews where it got a quote from Dean and a picture of my Facebook profile. You know what I mean? That was all it was.
But no quotes from imaginary people.
No quotes from imaginary people.
Guys, it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to you today. I think there are a lot of people looking forward to catching you later.
Certainly high density of Gandalf t-shirts.
It's awesome. Love to see it every time.
Yeah.
It's surreal, but like you look at the stage we'll be playing at, and there were 4 people in a row. Gandalf's fist. I nearly photobombed the picture.
Hey!
Those are those 4 imaginary band members you know.
Don't tell them they're on the band.
They've turned up. Super.